and welcome to Broken Tool Garage, the 3D print series right here, because we're not in a garage. So what I'm going to be going over is the Matter Hackers PETG orange translucent filament and how to get that to where it'll work for me, right? So what I intend to use it for is like the turn signal indicator lenses and the side marker lenses and who knows what else on cars, doing custom stuff right there on those. So to start out with, we're going to do just some stock settings. I'm going to go over it. I loaded up into my Bambu Labs. I just picked the Bambu orange translucent, and we're just going to run all the stock settings and get our baseline. Then we'll start doing modifications from there. All right, got that dried out. Drying time, I dried it for 12 hours in the IBO's little dryer over there on the PETG setting, and then whenever I put it in my AMS, since I got moisture in there, I did another PETG dry time for 4 hours. So we should be good and dry with that. And like I said, I'm just going to do some stock stuff. We'll get over on the computer here and show you what I'm going to be printing for my test sample. And well, let's just get to printing. Okay, this piece that I have right here is something that I designed for trying to figure out how to attach 3D printed parts together. So we got a little features right here, and I'm kind of using this because it does have a lot of different features instead of just doing a cube or whatever. I could have made something, and then I went ahead and added our little modifier cut in there for it to say stock, because this is going to be our exact stock settings right here. Just a translucent, even though that's not the Bambu Labs, it doesn't know that. We're going to pretend that's what it is, and this is a good baseline right here for what we're doing. And that's basically how it's going to look. I didn't move it, I didn't change it, I didn't rotate it. This is completely, the only thing that I did differently is I added that word on there, and that's the only thing I've done in there other than stock. So we're going to go ahead and do a print on this and see what this looks like. Okay, let's take a peek at it. Just took it out, just got done. So that single line right there, that looks pretty good. I don't think we can see that real well. I can see it better. The camera's going to have a hard time picking that up. So let's get it popped off. Oh my goodness, it broke. Now I've got to try again. So, I can see through it. I may have to put a light behind it so that the camera can see it, or that's what we got right there. Like I said, I just hit print and didn't worry about infill or anything right there. So, that don't look bad with light coming through it, which is how it's going to be worked, right? That's how I'm using it. But there's a lot we can do here to make this better, because we didn't do zero infill, and we used the texture plate right there, right? My screen keeps dimming on me as I'm trying to look at it. There we go. I think we can see it a little better there. So yeah, we have a ways to go on it. Okay, here's the document I'm using to get the parameters for 3D printing right here. I just want to show that. And yes, I'm on Printables. Do have some drawings or models and stuff uploaded on there, so make sure to check that out if you're cruising for something, or if you see a video that I have that has some parts on there. Biggest thing right there, the speeds, and he did temperatures. I did not mess with the flow, like, if I can get it to click the right one, right there. I didn't bump that up, but I did do the extrusion width. I set those all the same, layer height, like this right here, no top layers, no bottom layers, 2 shell loops, 35% overlap, 100% infill. Now, I didn't do extrusion width. I might have just missed that. But I will go into the Bambu Labs here in a second. That's all the settings that I have right there. No cooling, and change my print speeds on here. Okay, let's see what this looks like over in Bambu Labs. Okay, we got the same piece right here. I've updated mod 1 on that. And let's go through what we got right here on a global. I just named it TL for translucent, right? You can name it whatever you want. But we got our layer heights in there. All the line widths are default to 0.5 millimeter. I didn't do anything with seam. I didn't do anything with precision, and we didn't do ironing. Now that would be interesting to play with that, but that's going to get quite interesting. Strength, 2 wall loops. When you do 100% infill, it takes away some of that. So top shell layer 0, 0, 100% infill. That might have been what they was saying earlier, but yeah, I didn't play with that. Aligned rectilinear is what I did right there. So we should have all the lines going the same direction. 35% overlap right there. And I didn't change the angle there. So we should be looking good on that. Speeds. Everything's at 20 unless it was under 20 on there. So our last one was about 30 minutes to print it. So you can see we went from 30 minutes to 4 hours and 30 minutes to print this bugger. So yeah, I'm going to get that thing going and see what we got. I think for me, I could probably get away with dialing some of this back, maybe do the speed. Could play around with the infill, do like a honeycomb. Might look pretty cool for what I'm doing for the lenses, or maybe do a concentric or Archimedean spiral or something. I might could play around with that and then cut that time down a lot. But we're just going to see what this looks like compared to the other one. This should be pretty much the best that the printer can do. The only other thing I could do is put this on my cool plate, the glacier plate, because it's going to be a smooth bottom on there. Maybe add some ironing, but if it's going to take 4.5 hours to print one of these, I don't know how much I want to really play with that right there. So let's go ahead and get this to printing. All right, got that one going. I got to say one thing. I don't care how this thing looks. It's got to be sped up for what I'm doing right here. Yeah, I think I started this at 1:40 and it's going to be 6 o'clock before it's done. But doing our due diligence right here, testing that out, and then from there I'll have to modify programs to get it to what's going to work for me. But at least you get to see, this should be the best case scenario other than you using the smooth plate right there, and getting my nozzle wiper on there, the good one. So we just finished the first layer, did the inspection, and we're going on number 2, and it didn't grab anything and flick it up or anything, so I think we're good to go for the rest of the 4 hours and 20 minutes of the print, or whatever it is. 4 hours 7 minutes, sorry, my bad. Okay, redoing this part of the video because it just didn't come out good up in my light box there. I think we had too much lighting. Hold my hand steady, but you can read back behind there with this one. Right, so we've got our big letters, little letters right there. This one, you really can't read it, and that's pretty much exactly how it looks as well. You can almost tell there's something back there, but not really. And that would be to be expected right there, right? Okay, here's our next little test right here. I've just taken our same settings that we had in there with the 0.1 layer height. All that's the same. All the strength is the same. Everything is exactly the same on that one, except for our speed. 50 is the default setting, and I think it's like 105, so I just made it 100, and then I just went and put 100 on everything instead of 20. Because for me to use this, it's got to get faster than 4.5 hours to print a small little object like that, right? Basically 50 by 50 millimeter. So we have 2 objects here. One of them is the exact same thing. The second one, I'm playing around with some infill on it. I'm going to try the Archimedean on there at 35%. That's the only other difference that we have. So when we see that, I'm trying to go for that kind of a classic lens look right there. So that may help diffract it out because I'm wanting it to shine through and diffuse everything out, right? So we're going to see right there, but that's what the fun part of this is. You can see it's an hour and 33 minutes to do both of those, so it's about an hour and 3 minutes for this one and 30 minutes for that one right there. So that's a pretty big bump up in speed. That's going to make this process usable if it works right here. And we kept our filament the exact same TL that we come up with right there. I'm clicking the wrong one. I'm brain dead from work today. So here it is, the mod temp one that we come up with, the same one. I've saved this other profile, just a SP on the end for the speed. And we're going to see how much of a speed effect is going to happen with this. That's what we're really going to see out of that. And I got those marked as mod 2 down there. So I'm going to go ahead and hit print on this and we'll see what we get. Alright, we're going to give this a whirl, transmittance test. So this is the standard right here. This is the modified everything except for speed. I did 100 speed and of course in 35% infill and the concentric, and I really like that for doing my lens for a marker lens. That is the same thing, but 100% infill. This is the full-on 20 speed. So for transmittance, I just really can't tell the difference between the one that took an hour and the one that took 4.5 hours. So let's do a readability test and look at a couple different things on this. Okay, second part of the test right here, we can see that the one with stock settings really can't see anything through it as far as this test. And the one with a concentric, well, not really what it's meant to do is read stuff behind it. It's meant to diffuse the light out right there. So let's go ahead and look at our other two right here. So we can see now our lines are going this way, but you see the striations in this one, and this is the one that had a little bit faster speed. I don't know why they're going that way when the print was that way. Don't know if it had something to do with the speed or just that's how it come out on the printer, but we can see clearly through that. And that one's pretty good, not quite as good, but for 3 hours less print time, I think I might be okay with that. Okay, tinkered in the garage, the standard one. I buffed one side. I don't know if you can see it. It looks better, but without buffing that side on the PEI plate, it's going to be pointless. And that means I'd have to spend the time to clean that and do all the other ones and clear coat it. And I'm not going to go through the trouble of do that on this. It's, yeah. Now the real one, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. But I'm pretty happy where I'm at, and I think I'm shown that while there is some difference between the speed, I think, like I said, sample size 1, for me, I can't justify the, 5 times as longer or whatever it is, right? An hour to print something versus 4 hours and 30 minutes. I just can't see it. So this, I'm going to go with this design and then go with, I got the glacier plate. I'll just do that and I'll make that easier to clean up right there. And when I design it, I'm going to try to design it so that I can sand both sides and clear both sides. And I'll probably have a housing that it goes into anyway. But that's for another video on, if I do a video on designing taillight lenses or side marker lenses or whatever lenses you want to call them. But I'm pretty happy with these results. I hope you learned something from this. And if you like this, leave a comment below what you think we can do differently on this or what your experiences are on this. And I'll see you next time on Broken Tool Garage.